Blodwin got out. "Sedgewick was a soldier, a knight." The mummer crouched, produced a flask from somewhere inside his coat, and extended it to Blodwin. The boy did not hesitate, but accepting the offering, pulled the cork and took a great draught of strong, sour wine. A violent but not unpleasant shudder moved through his slender frame. "Gresham Sedgewick," the mummer mused, rubbing his chin while he waited for Blodwin to return the flask. "I'd heard I had the look of him about me, but seeing it for myself gave me a turn." Is he dead?" Blodwin sat up, empowered by the wine. He felt bile surge into the back of his throat, and his head swam. The player looked back at Sedgewick for a long time before replying with a shake of his head. "No," he said. "He's near it, though." With that he got to his feet, stowing the flask again in the same motion, and walked back to the creek bank. While Blodwin watched, confounded, he crouched again, went through Sedgewick's pockets, and relieved him of a small but weighty leather pouch, which he paused to admire for a moment, smiling, before pulling the signet ring from the other man's hand. This he pondered at some length and with a sober expression, before slipping it onto his own finger. "He'll kill me now," Blodwin thought helplessly, watching as the stranger came toward him again. "Cut my throat and leave me to the worms." Indeed, the mummer stood over him for a long while as if considering the question, before giving a low whistle through his front teeth. A slat-ribbed nag trotted out of the woods, reins dangling, and came nickering to the man's side. "Where were you bound for, lad?" Blodwin interrupted a silent Hail Mary to reply, "St. Swithin's Abbey." "I know the place," the mummer said with a nod, his expression still disturbingly reflective. Then, just when Blodwin despaired of his life, he tossed him the flask again. "This will keep your blood running until I get back," he said. "In the meantime, the only Christian thing to do is see that poor Sedgewick there gets the tending he requires. I'll take him within crawling distance of the nuns, a day's journey at most, then return for you." Blodwin waited, more confounded than before. This man had robbed Sedgewick, and now he was laying plans to rescue him. It didn't tally. "I have uses for a strapping, resilient lad like yourself," the mummer explained, unprompted. Then, with no more ado, he turned, hoisted Sedgewick, a man of considerable size, belly down onto the horse's back. He mounted easily behind him, spared Blodwin a brief and cheerful wave, and rode away into the forest. Blodwin lay for a long time, alternately thanking every saint he could think of that the mummer had left him in peace, and at the same time wondering if he would indeed be back. When he'd gathered the strength to unstop the flask, he swallowed more wine and then lay back on his cold bed of earth, feeling welcome warmth creep through his limbs. The mummer was a thief, mayhap even a murderer. But Blodwin decided he was also a man of his word. He would return all right. And when he did, Gresham Sedgewick, Squire, meant to be far from that place. Chapter 1. They found him lying face down amidst the hardened, frosty runnels of St. Swithin's squash patch, half frozen and out of his senses, with a crimson cap of blood crusted at the back of his head. Elizabeth Redclift, the younger of the two sisters, hastily crossed herself and murmured a prayer, while Meg, the more direct of the pair, dropped to her knees beside the unfortunate fellow, turned him gently onto his back, and sought a pulse at the base of his throat. Even in those straitened circumstances, it gave Meg something of a start, the look of him. He was fair, with features so finely chiselled they might have been shaped by an Italian...